Alright, continuing the 5 of a kinds for 5k subs in Unicorn Pack. No particular reason. The first video was in weekly. We're just going to jump about between the packs as I see fit. But these are runs that I was just recording in the last few days. I hadn't actually played Unicorn Pack since the update. I mean, I played a lot of it on the test server, but it generally tends to be that once an update gets rolled out to live, the experience is quite different than playing on the test server. And that's definitely what I've been finding. I was playing Amalgamation almost every single game on the test server, but I haven't had very many opportunities to actually use it since the update on live. So with Jersey Devil being removed, which was my go-to option for 5 of a kinds in this pack, we're going to have to improvise and do something else, and I thought about trying Frogman plus Tsuchinoko. So this was a combo you used to see all the time in the previous version. You would see a full team of Tsuchinoko plus 1 Frogman. And the reason for that is with the Fairy Dust, you can actually get a double jump with the same unit. Now you can do that in customs with some of the other jump pets, but I'm not sure it's actually possible for things like Brain Cramp and Tiger Bug to double jump in this pack. I guess the only way that it could happen would be if they got Onion from Bad Dog with Pandora's Box, but that seems pretty remote. However, with Tsuchinoko you just put Fairy Dust on it, and as long as it doesn't have the lowest attack, so in this situation the 6 attack Tsuchinoko will jump forwards last, so giving it the Fairy Dust won't do anything. As long as the Tsuchinoko gets pushed back at the start of battle, and we'll see that happen in the next turn, you can get double the Frogman buffs. And that can get quite out of control very quickly, as long as the Frogman doesn't get sniped. So everything is guaranteed a buff as well, because the Tsuchinoko has the start of battle jump ability. But unfortunately here the Mana Snipe removes the Frogman, and so we end up only getting 1 round of buffs. But not too bad, because in this situation we have 4 hearts. I played many games to get to this stage where I had 3 Tsuchinokos on turn 7 and then getting the Frogman on level up. It was just not happening for many attempts. But we find another Tsuchinoko here, so all 3 of the other tier 1s are going to jump forward first. So we could actually put another Fairy Dust on the one that is 9-15 now. I can't remember if I actually do that or not. It really depends on the opponents that you face here, because if you get a good sequence of opponents where you don't lose any lives, you know, if you draw or even just win, you can very quickly get to a point where you can just spend all your gold on Cornucopia to try and get Melon or other strong equipment onto the Tsuchinokos, because they're going to scale so quickly that it's going to be very difficult for other teams to deal with that. Even though Frogman was changed to only give +1/+2, it's kind of crazy really that it used to give +2/+2 at level 1. And yeah, that was probably why you saw so many of these teams, because the scaling was just so extreme and hard to pass up. So we do lose here. I mean, we do expect that to happen, because we're going to need a few turns for the scaling to really ramp up. And I'm going to try and get Frogman to level 3 to make that happen as soon as possible. Not going to happen this turn, but I will just buy the mana potion for a snipe in battle. That can be so important at times. Now here we're going to lose the Frogman due to Manticore plus Red Dragon, but because Tsuchinoko is start of battle, you're 100% guaranteed to get all of the buffs, at least for the first round of jumps. So we miss out on the second round, but all of the initial start of battle jumps, the buffs are guaranteed. So basically it's almost like having end of turn scaling, because you know for sure it's going to work every single turn, no matter what happens in terms of the ailments that are often being applied to your team. Now I did skip past the Fairy Dust there. I think probably I'm just going to be looking for Cornucopia now, because the Frogman is going to give +3/+6 to everything now. This team does have some Mana Snipes, but they're not going to be high enough damage in order to remove the Frogman. So we're actually guaranteed to get +3/+6 again on 2 more Tsuchinokos. And yeah, the Fairy Dust does still trigger even when there are no units left on the opposing team. So Cornucopia is all we're looking for now, really. And maybe I should take the pita bread here. Yeah, we'll go for that. Ultimately, the Fairy Dusts are all going to get replaced. And we also end up finding some more Tsuchinokos in the shop. We only really need one more. So I just took the level up for fun, I guess. I suppose leveling up does also give you an additional +1 in battle until your stats are maxed out from Frogman. But yeah, very similar looking team on the opposing side, but they only have one Tsuchinoko. I think probably in one of the previous versions of the pack, this was the most common type of lineup that you would face. You know, the 3 different jump pets plus Frogman, and then probably one other jump support unit, whether or not it would be Minotaur, Tatzelworm, or Jackalope. But you can see with the 4 identical tier 1s plus Frogman, even though Frogman has been nerfed, it is still possible for the scaling to just get completely out of control here. And yeah, I'm not sure why I haven't seen more people going for this. Maybe just because, like I said earlier, it was pretty inconsistent trying to get to the point at turn 7 where I would actually level into Frogman and get this online. Now, this opposing team is one of the new issues that Unicorn Pack players are dealing with, and that is the level 3 Ouroboros, which can produce extremely strong builds, but because of our rather unfair double scaling from the Frogman, we are actually going to win here anyway. I did lose a lot of runs to these teams, but I'm sure it's going to be patched fairly shortly. Now, one other bonus for going for this particular build is the fact that Team Spirit was changed. So you're much less likely to be facing sort of full 50-50 teams with Murmel, Team Spirit, and a bunch of Gingerbread. So I think, getting the Frogman online, you definitely feel like you have much less competition as long as you're able to, get past that awkward startup phase. So here's a 4 squad on turn 15. With they're also running a tier 1 in order to try and give their Chimera max mana. They don't quite get there, but even with 3 colossal summons, it's not going to be enough against the Frogman and its army of Tsuchinoko minions. So yeah, by this stage in the old version, you would probably be at 50-50 on multiple units, but as you can see here, because the buffs are skewed towards health, we actually don't have any units on 50 attack. But as I was mentioning, it's much less likely that you're going to face an opponent that actually has 50 attack themselves. So I think we have a decent shot here, especially since we have 2 hearts left. And it's Mothman. They actually have double tier 1 on turn 16, which is extremely strange. They also, the only ailment they have is coming from the question mark guy. I still don't really know what to call him. I think everyone has got their own different name for this new unit. But yeah, that was an extremely weak team on turn 16. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Maybe they were hoping for some kind of a Confetti or Water of Youth play and it didn't work out. I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you think was going on there and how that team was still alive so late in the game. So we might as well look at some of the other attempts. I was going for a lot of the tier 1s. I'm not sure why. Sometimes I just get an idea stuck in my head, and I really felt like I could get one of these other tier 1 units over the line that was not Tsuchinoko. So here we've got all Barghest team. We have triple Ambrosia at the front because I couldn't find anything better with Cornucopia. So I ended up deciding to go for the Bad Dog Pandora's Box to wipe opposing equipment, but they just had a massive team from the new Worm of Sand, and so unfortunately it didn't pan out. So if you can't beat them, join them. Here's an attempt going for Worm of Sand scaling myself, but unfortunately Sea Serpent is going to hard counter basically any 5 of a kind attempt in this pack. Some of the ones that you used to be able to do, like Nessie, probably could have won there, but the changes to Nessie basically make that impossible now. So here's another one where on 9 wins we get to the position of having 4 bunyips with 2 stakes on base stats at the front. So I'm hoping for a tie with ailments, so we actually get some free scaling as well. So we get the ailment team that we want, which is also pretty likely to produce a tie. The unicorn actually double heals the bunyip at the back from the grave, and we're going to end up winning by 1 HP because of that extra +2/2 from the unicorn. So incredibly unfortunate there, but I mean, there was every chance that even if I found another bunyip after in the next shop phase, it would end up being a loss. So yeah, didn't quite work out, but you can get to the point of potentially winning a 5 of a kind using mainly unicorn scaling. I think bunyip is actually due to be changed as well, so I think I was trying to get that one before it's maybe a bit too late. So next we move on to Mana Hound, and Mana Hound was a unit that I'd tried going for 5s of quite a few times, not really having much success. Previously it had, I think it was a 2/5 stat line, and then it was switched to be 5/2, and I think the 2/5 stat line was so much better for going for 5 of a kinds because of Wall Chicken plus Baku or Unicorn. But yeah, we just have to make do at the 2 health now. You are very likely to end up losing the Mana Hound in early turns, where the very small mana snipes are still going to kill it. But here we've worked our way up to turn 10, we still have 3 hearts. And now that we've got 3 Mana Hounds, the rolls are actually worth a lot more. So, you know, we roll down 4 times, we end up getting, instead of just getting 4 mana, we're getting 4 mana 3 times. Actually, we already have a level 2. So we're getting, you know, what is it, 16 mana for 4 rolls. And I think, yeah, we could take the level up here. I guess we already have the level 2 Team Spirit, so we might as well just do it. Maybe I'm thinking about trying to go for the level 2 Quetzalcoatl first. But I think at turn 11, I'm kind of pushing my luck already. So we'll just take the level up, and maybe we'll think about going for level 3 Team Spirit. So the Quetzalcoatl actually avoids the level 1 Mana Hound there, so we're going to have to wait another turn for some buffs. And I think here we could be in a bit of trouble. Oh, actually, no, we're going to be okay. The Mana Hound in the middle does have enough attack, so it ends up being another 1 HP win. It's funny when you look back at these types of runs and think how close you were to, you know, losing or tying, and how that would have probably just killed the run right there and then. So we find another Mana Hound in the shop. We'll just freeze it for now. We're waiting until we can get the maximum value from Quetzal before we end up selling it. The Team Spirit plus Quetzal is nowhere near as good as it was, obviously, because Team Spirit is no longer giving +1/+2, but it's still pretty solid, and you know, it just doesn't have as much to compete with, given that Frogman was changed, and also Jersey Devil just doesn't exist anymore. I guess there weren't that many Jersey Devil teams in the previous versions, so I'm not sure how much a difference that actually makes, but I think the main things that you're worried about facing, instead of, you know, big scaled up opponents, is mostly just the Sea Serpent teams and the ailment teams, because having huge stats, you know, these teams with ailments can just completely delete your biggest 2 units. Luckily here we have just enough health, but I had many rounds where Vampire Bat plus Manticore plus Visitor, it's just going to instant kill units even if they have, you know, 30 plus health. So we actually do end up getting Team Spirit to level 3 here. We're going to swap the order around so that the higher stats Quetzal is at the front, and then we're just going to wait until all of these units are fully leveled, and then we can swap out Quetzal and then potentially get another Team Spirit level up. So here is a Manticore team, but luckily because of the scaling from the Team Spirit plus Quetzal, we're actually able to survive there, and so it's another win. But we are going to have to go pretty deep into the late game here. So I'm keeping these two Mana Hounds frozen, but really I want to get one of them into the team so that it can get scaled up a bit. I guess, honestly, like I was saying, it doesn't really matter if you have a full team of heavily skilled units. If you end up facing one of these Sea Serpent teams, you're very likely just going to lose. It doesn't matter how big the units are, because the Sea Serpent damage at a certain level of mana is going to instant kill through Melon anyway. So this looked scary initially because they had a 50, I think it was 50 health. It was a 50-50 Cyclops at the front, but actually ends up being a tie, which again isn't ideal. But I think here I make the decision to actually sell Quetzal because we still need a certain number of wins. You know, we're only on 7 trophies. We can do exactly what just happened there, where I rolled double chocolate and managed to get an extra level up with the level 3 Team Spirit. Now maybe it would have been justifiable to just sell Team Spirit instead and take the stats from Quetzal, because having leveled up that Mana Hound, we're now not going to get any more buffs from this Team Spirit. I guess maybe that was, maybe I could have done it the other way around, I'm not sure. Let me know in the comments which way you would have gone there. Now here is another issue that you find when you're going for these big stat teams, is that you can frequently face late game Cali Greyhounds that are going to level 3 skunk 2 units. So I think there I managed to get away with that purely because I got Melon from Cornucopia. And I would find that that was the case a lot of the time, that runs would just die if I didn't get Melon from Cornucopia. So we were extremely fortunate there. I think here maybe I'm briefly considering the Ambrosia, but instead we do roll Cornucopia and we'll take Pancakes. Maybe it would have been better to take Pita Bread there, but I don't think Pita Bread is going to do anything against Sea Serpent, so we're going to keep looking. Another jump team. This is basically what I was describing earlier, except this team has a double Tiger Bug. And I think we might be okay. We are going to get whittled down by the level 3 Tutzel Worm, which is now a tier 3 unit. But I think, yeah, we are going to be fine. It is very, very close though, considering how fragile their team looked in comparison to ours at the start of battle. So another Cornucopia, we get a second chance at Pita Bread, which I will definitely take. And now we're just looking for more Cornucopia. We don't get it, so I think I'm probably just going to buy this peach. Oh no, we're going to roll again. Probably the correct decision, because one extra roll there is actually worth quite a lot of mana, because we have 3 level 3 Mana Hounds and 1 level 2. We are going to instantly lose to double level 3 Team Spirit, level 3 Quetzal though. I did mention that there aren't that many all 50-50 teams earlier in the video, but I think once you get to turn 18, 19 plus, all bets are off. So we keep rolling down, we're just looking for Cornucopia. We get another Pita Bread, definitely replace the health potion, which isn't doing anything. And then probably roll again, yep. Double Cornucopia. Decent chance that we're going to lose the next turn anyway, which is guaranteed as soon as we see level 3 Sea Serpent, 30 mana. We're going to lose 2 of our biggest units. One of them hangs on because of the Melon, but we're still going to lose anyway. So now we're down to lethal. We need a very favourable matchup here to have a chance of a win. And I think from this selection, probably Pancakes again. Yep. And then hope for some good stat food. Unfortunately, it's Pretzel, which one of the poorest options we could get. And we don't get the full number of rolls here, but fingers crossed for a good opponent. And it is another jump team, level 3 Frogman at the back. They still have Baku on the team this late. I wonder if a bunch of these teams are all going for the tier 1 achievements. But we actually get a 1 HP breakpoint there, and then another one because the Brain Cramp only had 30 health, meaning that we instant killed through the Melon. And there we go, the level 3 achievement for the Mana Hound plus the 5 of a kind. And then a couple of extra clips just to finish off. These are random things that happened while I was going for these runs. Nothing to do with 5 of a kinds though. So I was spectating this person to see how they got their tier 1 to such a big stat line so early. and they actually match up with me. And I've never had this happen before where I've spectated someone and the opponent has been me. But you can see there it helpfully says you above grounded, just in case I didn't notice it was my own account. Now here's one where I was going for all Mothman team. I get matched with this Bad Dog squad that has Pandora's box, and my Mothman at the back is given cold, and the Frogman on the opposing team is given salt. So 11-12 Mothman with cold versus 1-4 Frogman with salt. What's going to happen here? The very fact that I've recorded this probably tells you something, that the Frogman with 1 attack is going to instant kill a 12 health unit. Now, I'd never seen that before. I guess I maybe didn't pay enough attention in Puppy Pack to know that salt affects weakness as well. But there you go, you learn something new every day.